Hello, welcome to episode 9 of Rob and Blakey's Commentary Box. We are loud and clear on Welsh football. I'm Rob Phillips, I'm the former BBC Wales football correspondent, and this is the former Wales International and Premier League striker, Nathan Blake.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Well, it's good to see you got your shirt on, Nathan. It's always a moment of celebration when you and I get together.
Yeah.
But unlike Hugo Ekitike, you've managed to keep yours on.
Well, you wanted to pop off on him for taking it off. Did you think it was, go
he
on.
got sent off.
Yeah.
And that's my case.
Okay. Well, for celebrating, goals, really. Yellow cards for taking the shirt off. What harm? There's the question. What harm does it do?
What I would say is that the Liverpool boss Slot actually nailed it when he said, if it was a Champions League final, I might have excused it, but was to that effect. But actually, in this case, it was a tap-in. He should have been thanking Chiesa for the pass.
Yes, he didn't, but he took his shirt. It's the fact he took his shirt off. I think it's one of the most ridiculous rules in football, to be honest with you, and made up by people who make up rules for the game without really understanding the game. First to say, every fan, every sort of commentator is first to say, where's your passion, where's your pride, And then someone, because when you score goals, you lose your mind. I've told you that before, right? And without thinking, he's just removed his shirt, probably a bit of the Alexander Isak effect, like breathing down my neck, although I don't see why they can't play together as a two. Well, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I just think it's a ridiculous, because he obviously, when his mate started, when Frimpong said to him, like, you're going to get
Look what you've done.
Look what you've just done. It was like the realization of, oh yeah.
Yeah, he quickly tried to put it back on, didn't he?
Yeah, but listen, I don't call it stupidity because, like I say, you when you score goals, whether it's a tap-in or it's a worldie from 35 yards, you tend to lose your mind. And at Anfield with that crowd, scoring goals is, as a striker, he's under pressure to do it, and he's doing it. 5 and 6, I think he's got.
Well, we are both in our shirts, and we're speaking to you from the University of South Wales Atrium, and we're brought to you, of course, as ever, by the valued support of the journalism and media courses. Tell your friends we're available via all social media outlets, Instagram, X, Blue Sky, Threads. Watch us on YouTube and get us on all your usual podcast outlets, including Spotify. You might have guessed we're recording this on Wednesday, so we'll review the Carabao Cup win, so Wrexham and Cardiff last night, another defeat for Newport, plus the action in the JD Cymru leagues. Also, we'll have your verdict on summer football for domestic leagues in Wales, some of your views on playing internationals at the Principality Stadium. But let's start with the Carabao Cup. Swansea did the business against Nottingham Forest last week, so this means Swansea, Cardiff and Wrexham in round 4 for the very first time, as all three together, since the competition started in 1960.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds almost impossible, right? Since 1960, the first time they've all got through. But, hey, it is what it is. We'd love to see a derby come out of the hat next round, whether that's Cardiff Wrexham or Wrexham Swansea or Cardiff Swansea. I would love to see a derby, wouldn't you? Would you like to see a derby? Or would you just rather Welsh teams get through?
I'd rather the Welsh teams get through, but we not much we can do that. That's when that's happening Wednesday evening. But we should talk about the performances because I think they were relevant in so many ways. Cardiff, terrible result at home to Bradford on Saturday.
Yeah, got ripped
First
apart
defeat they did, but a stunning win at Burnley.
Ooh,
and really, what sort of impressed me most, they went there and dominated the ball, 53% to 47%. The press was excellent. And they basically were on the front foot from the start at Turf Moor.
Yeah, this is the way they play, Rob. They've not, it's a game where you've probably got nothing to lose and everything to gain. You're playing a Premier League team. They made changes. You've made changes. You want to get through if you're Cardiff City because you want to maintain the confidence. And a win like that, Barry Murphy or no, a win like that against a Premier League team, regardless if they've made changes, is a perfect pick-me-up after the Bradford defeat. All right? And I think that is or will be the most important outcome of that. Whether they go on to get to the final or lost in the next round, doesn't matter. That win after the defeat against Bradford just picks you back up again, confidence-wise. So I thought, brilliant result. I think last time we lost on one day was 88. I heard something like that.
It's a long time ago, yeah.
Yes.
Maybe as significant as anything. Callum Robinson, 3-3 now for him.
Yeah.
Musa Saleh, I think, has found League One tough so far. Is Robinson now saying, pick me at Wigan next Saturday?
Yeah, it could be. I do think Saleh does, when he's on it, gives you an awful lot in that league. And he is dangerous. But, they're two totally different types of player. You've got one you can play up to as a platform. You can play up to Robinson as well, but he also's got the movement in behind and what have you, and not so much of a physical threat, especially aerial. But if you go in one of the two, that's competition. That's what you love, right? Whoever's on fire, whoever's scoring, whoever is most consistent takes the shirt. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, I heard Barry Murphy afterwards in an interview effectively say Callum Robinson has every right to say I should be picked now. But he said he's probably had that. I think he said the words were, well, if you speak to him, he probably thought it should have happened before. But the striker can only go by goals, can't he?
Well, we just said about Isak
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Ekitike, right? Once you get your opportunity, it's for you then to take that opportunity. If you have 5 or 6 games and you don't score, and the manager goes, "Oh well, I'm gonna drop you, Nathan. Put Rob in. Give Rob
Well, that'll be obvious. I mean, look at the track record.
Yeah.
What I would say as well, I think he's been a bit of an unsung, not hero, but he's been an unsung stalwart for the club this season. Early days, but I can't think of a better word really because he's so reliable. I thought Joel Bagan at left back was excellent. And this last week, since the last podcast, Ronan Capaccio, Isaac Davis, both signed new deals. I looked it up. I think Bagan's contract is up at the end of this season.
Yeah.
When you think he stepped in for Callum O'Dowda, he's getting better going forward.
Yeah.
But I just think he's
He's
become a reliable defender.
He's always a really good defender. His only thing is he loses it once or twice and he'll put in a ridiculous challenge that's not needed. For me, man of the match was Wintle. I thought he was up, down, everywhere. In the last couple of minutes, it might have been the last minute, they're under a bit of pressure, Cardiff. And he is centre of the park and he's 60 yards, 70 yard, like full pelt recovery run. And then Cardiff clear away and he's in the right position. But I just thought there was some brilliant performances, you're right.
Yeah, big bounce back win.
Yeah. Well, and that's what you want, right? As a manager, you don't want to then come off and draw, then lose, or lose a couple and run, and everyone's going, "Oh, the bubble's burst," right? Because you don't want it to be a bubble. You want a consistency to say, "Well, listen, if we lose 8 games this season, personally, 10 games, 8 to 10 games, I'd be disappointed." Yeah. I expect Cardiff, from what they've shown me, at the start of the season, I wasn't sure, I kept saying to you, but what they've shown me, they've got more than enough to go and win that league and definitely be in the top 2 or 4 all season.
Yeah.
So the way they've started and what they've got and the way they play, like you're saying, you're impressed with how they press and what have you. I'd be extremely surprised if they ended up just blowing a gasket.
Yeah, because I remember asking you at the start.
I wasn't sure.
No.
Didn't know Barry Murphy, didn't know his style of play. Then, the club's always been in turmoil as far as philosophies and, managers and picking players that fit how you play and all. It's never been the case under the ownership. So it was literally, I don't know, Rob. I couldn't tell you, but what I've seen has been really impressive.
Okay, a couple of reactions on X. Gareth Dunning said you can't stand off a BBM. Cardiff side will allow them that much space. He agrees with me. Baker was man of the match. One of the reasons I read it out. Tony Poole on X said, deserved win for Bluebirds. Every player making a positive contribution. That said, however, you have to place the victory in context as Burnley sent out, he's got in quotes, a shadow team, duly paid the price. After that Bradford hiccup last Saturday, this was the perfect way to respond.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. But I think you've got to give credit that they're 2 leagues above Cardiff and they are in the Premier League. So what you've got to think to yourself is the players that you're bringing in. It's not like an Arsenal under-21 team or a Chelsea under-21 team. You're picking a team of, from your first team squad then. That's what you've got to say. So you're Premier League players. You're in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So I think, whilst I agree with that comment, to a degree, I think also credit's got to be paid to the fact that they are a Premier League outfit and have got an unbelievable defensive record.
They have, which doesn't include Connor Roberts. We'll come back to that at the moment.
Which what doesn't include?
Well, at the moment he's not playing, which is a bit of a worry for
He played last year, though.
long term. No, I'm saying this season he hasn't played yet.
Yeah.
But we'll come back to Wales. Meanwhile, Wrexham, 2 goals from their record signing, Nathan Broadhead,
Yeah, nice to
sent
see
them
him.
through against Fulham.
Fulham?
Sent them through against Reading.
I was going to say, that happens to me sometimes, my age, but you're a lot older than me. So
You'd never know, though, would you?
Regularly.
You'd never know. Which followed 2 for Josh Windass in the win at Norwich on Saturday.
Yeah.
Great stat this I saw. Nathan Broadhead became the 4th different Wrexham player already this season to score 2 goals in a game.
Yeah, great stat. But I would come off the stat for Wrexham. I like, the press. They had that bite, that fight, that aggression in their game, which I think has been missing. I've said a couple of times. They've been almost too passive. But they were after the opponent. They just didn't stop and they were relentless with it. I think it's like, I'm like, did you say to me they're near the playoffs?
They're not far off playoffs now, no.
Right. So I would say just get it going.
Well, it's 1 defeat in 6 league and cup games. I'm tempted to say,
They
you remember
turned the
last
corner.
week we talked about the social media stuff building up about Parkinson.
Yeah.
Well, that was quickly put to bed by the director, Sean Harvey, just as our podcast was coming out, to be fair, saying, look, there was never I'm not giving him a vote of confidence because he didn't even discuss his future, haven't discussed it. But you and I both said last week, wait till Wrexham get their full complement of players. And it's interesting, the win at Norwich came as Don Hyam, the Blackburn defender, and Issa Kabora both made their first starts for the club in the league.
Yeah, and who's in goal?
Okonkwo at the moment, Arthur Okonkwo.
Oh.
Well, that's because Danny Ward's injured, so let's not go back there again. And it wasn't last night.
I can't help you if you
It
think
was Callum Burton last night.
Last night it was. Yeah. I was talking about Norwich.
All right, okay.
But they've had,
I don't know why you said that.
well, because I think he'll end up as the number 1 keeper.
Well, he will do at the moment because Danny Ward's out for a significant length of time.
Oh, still, he's number 1 keeper. Ain't he? So that's all I'm making the point.
Because of injury. And they're not without injuries. Aaron James, Harry Ashfield, they've got time out as well. But my point being, without Ollie Rathbone coming closer and closer to being available again, that squad is starting to look the part now, isn't it?
Okay, so would you where would you place them by the end of the season now?
I said at the start when you brazenly went for top 6, and then you hedge your bets a bit by saying, well,
8.
Top 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're not disagreeing with me, so I nailed that. My memory might be fading, but I remember stuff like
you
that.
remember that one, yeah.
I said top 10 at least, didn't I?
I think he said 10 mid-table, wasn't it?
No, I said
10, 14, was
top
it?
10. No, I think I went top 10.
Okay. Yeah. I think, well, listen, like I've been saying, I said last week, like when you step up a league, again, like it can catch you out as a coach, it can catch you out as a player, it can catch you out as a team. Do you know what I mean? But I wouldn't say they've turned a corner. Oh, well, the way they played last night and Norwich, I thought, like aggression-wise, they definitely turned the corner. But yeah, I think they just need, if they can get like a back-to-back win now, I think they really, the wheels start really going forward. Yeah. They've done, they've stopped the reverse, and now the wheel is moving forward slowly. Another couple of wins, confidence goes up again. Kiefer's playing well, midfield's playing well.
What can Broadhead add to what Kiefer does?
Well, he's a different type of player. He's different movement, better movement. Not better, but different movement. Kiefer he'll run all day, real big powerhouse of a guy. Good finisher, good touch. But Broadhead is like between the lines and stuff like that. He's the one who's running off your back shoulder that you don't see and things like that. So I think because we were kind of saying he's gone quiet for a couple of months, right? Well, maybe it's just a settling in period, new club and what have you, new surroundings. Takes time. Takes some people.
Yeah, he's had his injury
more than
problems,
others,
yeah.
plus injuries as well. So,
and I thought also there was a significant goal, 2 goals from Josh Windass at Norwich. The second, the curling one into the top corner, beauty. And after the Norwich game, Phil Parkinson said he was asked about the speculation about him because a national radio station, UK radio station, said there'd been talks about his future at the top level. Dismissed that, and he said, "My message to everybody in football is that 4 years ago, we came to East Anglia, and it was King's Lynn away in front of 800 people. Today, we've turned up at Carrow Road in front of 26,000 against a really good team with a top manager, come away with a victory. That's how far we've come so quickly, and people sometimes forget that."
Yeah, not bad, is it?
That's nailed it, hasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Credit where credit's due. And I don't think you're ever going to get away from the fact that, like, some of the fans will always talk about the football. And I think that's where most of the angst for people lay. You've had a team that's better than the division, if you like, then, but you haven't footballed your way out. Well, you have footballed your way out, but not like 20 passes a goal, what we call it, football. It's more direct and, it's a bit more brutal. But if it gets you where you need to be, you can't really argue. And then the championship now, I think, is a different beast. I don't think you can muscle your way through it. I really don't. I don't care who you are. I think there's too many good teams, and some of them will be able to outmuscle Wrexham.
There's a bit more finesse to it, but what I would say is that the way Wrexham play, it's a little bit more direct than some championship clubs, a lot of championship clubs. But actually, the way they play, if it's not working by getting it out wide and crosses into the box, they can hit it up to Kiefer Moore, and he's as good a target man as you're going to get in that division. And the way they play, I don't think there's a lot to go wrong. In other words, if you're a tippy-tappy team, as I call them, right? Loads of passes, your passing only has to be just off for the whole thing to break down. I don't think so much... Wrexham will lose games.
Yeah, but I could say to you...
But I think there's less of a danger.
Yeah, but I could say to you, by going more direct, you lose more possession.
Yeah, maybe.
So what's 9/10 of the law is possession. If I got the ball and you haven't... Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I understand your point, but still, I would agree with fans who say, like I said last week, I'm not talking about passing out from the 6-yard box. That one I don't get with a lot of managers. I understand the possession, but I still think you can throw the ball out, kick it and win a second ball and then start to play, especially if you're not one of the fancy teams or squads. I still think you can do that. But playing up from the 6-yard box and trying to go box to box. When do we ever see it at any level?
Yeah.
You never see it. So I take your point, and I agree.
Surely not.
No. I agree. Like you just want to get their ambition was to get from National League to probably League One, and we'll consolidate there and then go again for and they've managed to go right through to the Championship. Fantastic. The point about Kings Lynn 4 years ago, right?
Just puts it in perspective.
It gives a great perspective, but you can't argue with the guy or the woman who's paying their ticket to come and watch the football if they don't like the football. They might love the promotion.
Yeah.
We had it at Cardiff with Neil Warnock. Fans loved the promotion and didn't say nothing about the football. When you're winning, I would say, but it's when you're losing that you come under more and more pressure. And that's exactly what's happened.
Yeah.
But by getting the 2 wins, has turned it around. Hopefully they can go on now. And I think as time goes, they'll play more football. You know what I was saying about Newport, about the manager, first of all, making it simple and then progressing on top of the simple foundation. You look at Wrexham and you think by Christmas, January, they'll probably be playing a lot more football or having a lot more possession. That should be the idea anyway, I think.
Yeah. Well, they've got Derby on Saturday and
tough game.
Leicester away on the
tough
Tuesday.
game. But listen, you go Wrexham, man, because I wonder how much did we have? Bet for top 6? Was it 50 quid?
I don't think we bet anything.
You get all look out. Did we bet money?
That totally escapes me, I have to say.
Yeah, well,
that we actually had a bet.
It does, Ebenezer. It always does when we talk money.
On to Swansea.
Yeah.
And hopefully you're enjoying the Rob and Blakey Commentary Box podcast.
Yeah.
We're loud and clear on Welsh football, and we are here courtesy of the University of South Wales Atrium campus in Cardiff with the support of the
I'm glad you got
Journalism
that.
and
And I've been
Media
waiting
team.
for you to talk about that for the last 10 minutes, but hey.
Well, there we are. I'm just reminding
Yeah,
people
yeah.
because we do like the facilities, don't we?
We love
If
it.
you're watching on YouTube, I'm sure you'll be impressed.
Yeah, and we can wear T-shirts and it's winter. Come wrapped up today.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're always wrapped up, as I've said before. I mean, the polar jacket comes out in August. So, but hey, as long as you're warm, that's fine. Swansea. Carabao Cup. They're also in the 4th round draw.
Yeah.
Did the job last week against Nottingham Forest. Such a late show. Cameron Burgess's, there have been some brilliant goals in this Carabao Cup. But Cameron Burgess's injury time winner. Whoa.
Yeah, and it's sort of like where they conceded late. Now they've scored late, and it feels the total. But you've seen the confidence, the boost, the lift. Again, like we said about Wrexham, that should give Cardiff, that should give Swans a big lift. And just like to say, the Potnick goal last week wasn't offside, by the way. You see it?
Right, yes, I did, yeah. It wasn't offside,
No,
no.
it wasn't offside.
But you talk about giving them a lift. They lost late to Birmingham.
Yeah. Well, Birmingham are one of the fancy teams. There are going to be teams that you're gonna come up against who would kind of with the money behind them. They can be a powerhouse, right? Like Birmingham could get probably 40,000 if things are going right. Norwich is never going to get 40,000. Swansea not going to get 40,000. They're 20,000, 25, 30,000. There's I play for those like Boltons and players like that, teams like that. There's a not a limit, but you're not going to get much over what you've seen their biggest crowd over the last, say, 20, 25 years. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things. Right?
What I would say is that I saw some of the highlights of the Swansea game, particularly at Birmingham. I watched the Forest game. They're playing okay.
They're playing good,
Swansea.
yeah.
They are playing good.
I think Sheehan's got them playing really well. I think they can consider themselves unfortunate to have lost as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it was
Can you see a Sheehan way?
a Sheehan way.
Yeah, like at Swansea,
Like
it's
the
always
Swansea
been.
way.
I think it's different, but I do think he's got a good defence. I think Burgess is really good alongside.
I think they're the best I've
Cabango.
seen them for probably 2 or 3 seasons.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, I would say
Midfield is
much better.
Much
What's
better.
his name? The
Ethan Galbraith.
Oh, good scouting, that is. Fair play. Really good scouting. Like, they do, Swans fans, you do well to hold on to him in the next year or two. You know, I could see him at the Bournemouth or Brighton. He's that type of player. Very, very good. Great on the ball. And control games for you.
Yeah.
I think he's, what was the lad went to Coventry?
Oh, Matt Grimes.
I would put him up there better than him.
Different sort of player, isn't he?
Yeah, but more legs.
Yeah.
Grimes
oh,
is very
absolutely.
much, I'll stand here, give me the ball, and I'll make us play.
Yeah.
Ethan's more like...
If you had Grimes in your team, you had to play around him.
Yeah.
And which is why...
But he doesn't let you down.
No, he
takes
doesn't.
that responsibility,
Yeah.
and he's brilliant with it. Fair play. So, no, it's that's why I'm hoping for some derby to come out of the Carabao Cup. Wouldn't you love it? Like, best of Swansea going against the best of Wrexham. Let me...
Well, that'll happen. Don't worry. In a few months' time.
Yeah. Or Cardiff will fly in, like, you know, a nice derby match against one of them two. Be great.
Yeah, it will be good.
Because the likelihood is they're not going to win it. So I'm like, what can we have that you're going to remember? A derby would be brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm just greedy like that. Sorry.
You are rather.
Yeah.
But by the time people are listening to this and watching this, they'll know anyway. So,
Yeah.
But no, I think you're right. I think you made a really good point. I think they are playing better now.
And they got a better squad.
They have, yeah.
They got a better squad, and they got... I hate to say it because, you know, but I think the manager's better. I think you don't get that progress. You've seen a clear progression since last season then from Luke, yeah? Seen, like, if you looked at...
Yeah, he's come in. I think I said at the start of the season, it wasn't even a big doubt, it was a nagging doubt about... Somebody said to me, if they appoint Alan Sheehan as manager, it'll be like Cardiff do, have a few good games, and then he's got the job. Well, we know what's happened when that has happened at Cardiff. But actually, I can see what Alan Sheehan is trying to do.
Yeah, but...
Because we didn't know what his style was, really, did we? But what he has got is...
you didn't, but you kind of did, because whenever he came in, caretaker, he got positive results.
He did.
And a positive change. Now, for me, when there was questions over him getting the job full time, I'm like, I don't get that. I think that's the best move, actually, because he's not only seen what not to do, he's come in and he's shown you what I can do a couple of times. And I always said, like, you know what I say, Rob, if people go inexperienced, well, if you don't get the opportunity, how do you get the experience?
Yeah.
Right? And I think he's probably surprising a lot of people, and a lot of people are just going along as if to say now, oh yeah, we kind of knew. We knew he'd do that. Right? But for me, it was one or two too many question marks around, because I think he had proven he's got the potential to be a very good manager from his stint as caretaker. So I'm really pleased for him, because he's young as well, and he's gritty, and maybe there must have been a reason in the first place they said to him, like, will you take over from the caretaker position? Someone must have seen something around Swansea's training ground or what have you, that he's got the capability to do so. So
it's going to be a really interesting season with Swansea, I think.
Yeah. I think, to me, like, all four of the Welsh clubs, it's going to be interesting.
Well, that's what we want on this podcast.
Yeah. Swansea, where can they... Because I think, you know, get your stuff right, and you could probably aim for playoffs seriously.
Contenders for playoffs.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that is a big step forward from...
Yeah, well, I think they're a better squad. I think they play better football. They're not as Swansea way-esque, so they're not as long in possession, right? Because, you know, long in possession sometimes is a detriment to your striker or your wingers who need the ball quickly to transfer right? So I think, Yeah, I think they're in a decent spot. I just, let's see Christmas time. If they have a good Christmas, then, and they're in the top 10 or 12 to the 6 point outside the playoffs, you got a chance.
Yeah, and you might think the owners would
Give
back
him
him
a few
again because,
bob.
to be fair,
Why not
he's been
strengthen a
backed
bit?
really big time this
Yeah,
summer.
but
Hasn't he?
also, like, you got to give him a credit because he's probably had some sort of influence in the players coming in as well. So we've kind of heard that as well, right?
Yeah.
And if you look at the recruitment prior to that, no disrespect, but I don't think it was as good as what they've just gone through in the last window. So do you give that credit to Alan or do you say, oh, it was someone else? Well, I think you've got to give him some sort of credit for it. If not fully, you've got to give him in part, surely.
Well, yeah, absolutely. It's Millwall home Saturday, and then a trip to Blackburn on Tuesday, one of your old clubs.
Yeah.
Newport County. You were there on Saturday against Gillingham. I watched much of the game against the Arsenal under 21s last night, which they lost 2-1, having taken the lead again really early, just as they did on Saturday. Dave Hughes heard an interview with him, and he's more angry than I can remember. Said, look, disappointment would be an understatement after the Football League trophy game. Yeah, Gillingham, and I listened to some podcasts about it as well. There was a live Newport County fans podcast, 1912 Exiles podcast, after the game. And actually the fans were quite encouraged by the first half. But I heard you on radio this weekend saying you're really worried.
Yeah. I would say the biggest telltale was they brought her about 1,000, and there's 1,000. The gate was down 1,000. So already you're starting to see the effects of. I think it was 4,500 there Saturday. Regularly, last couple of times I've been, it's been 5,500. That's what happens regularly at Newport. As soon as the team starts dropping, the fans start. And trust me, we worked along with the charity. We worked last 10 years. So difficult to get them at over 5,000 on a regular sort of basis. So I whatever people said, it's just an opinion, right? It's their opinion. Whether I agree with it or not, don't know. I haven't heard it. I haven't seen it. But what I seen, Gillingham. Okay, you might say they were okay first half, but I don't think there was anyone around me where we sit well within 100 seats of us who were thinking you were going to go on and win this game.
Did the penalty miss against Gillingham?
They were brilliant for 10 minutes. They were unbelievable they scored without Gillingham touching the ball, first and foremost. But it was almost like the fighter comes out and throws everything in the first round, second round, and you got to go 12. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because after 10 minutes, Gillingham, the penalty miss was massive. But
should Cameron Antwi have taken that penalty?
No, I don't understand it. Because the strikers just scored.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
Do you know what I mean? And Antwi's not known for taking penalties, I don't think. Well, he hasn't since he's been there. So it's, but those little, like the striker might have taken it and missed it. My point is the striker is now full of confidence. He's already done his job. He scored his goal. He's up on a plateau, feeling good. Scored last game or the game before, feeling really good about himself. Put the ball down, crack it in the back of the net. Now, I'm not saying Antwi shouldn't have picked the ball up, but it seemed like they didn't seem. Well, is he the dedicated penalty taker? Because I didn't look at it and think, there was. But he picked it up, but then there was no captain saying, oh, give him the ball, or the striker wasn't saying, no, it's me on the ball. It almost seemed like they.
Does that come back to maybe not enough experience and leaders in that team? Because it's a really
well, we can keep harping on about that. What I would say is there didn't seem to be a dedicated penalty taker. Right? Which is usually one of your strikers or your attackers, right? Or your your set ball, dead ball specialist sort of central midfielder. What they done well, and what I really liked about what Dave Hughes must have done, is what he'd done is Antwi is very much, we always say, is a ticker. Well, Antwi was playing like a 10 position and kept making runs in behind their defence. And it's how they got the goal and it's how they got the penalty. And they probably had another chance or two after it. But he just kept running, whereas he likes the ball to feet. I'm like, for me now, I would say to him, right, we're going to sit and watch this game, right, and then we're going to sit and watch one of your previous games. Now, this is what you do, and this is what you've done. What I need is a combination of that. So when you're in midfield and you see the opportunity to run behind their sort of defence, take it, do it. Don't always come to the ball and think, I'm just going to tick, 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 tick. Because there's what's his name? I always get his name wrong. Not Broadbent. What's his name? Brayborn. He is kind of like the playmaker. Yeah. So he's sitting deep and stitching everything together. And Anthony wasn't sitting with him anyway. He was playing a more advanced role. But I would be like, well, it's another string to your bow.
Okay.
Right?
Well,
but listen, he took the penalty and it was even worse, the rebound he missed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, oh, no.
But it's interesting. I would
happens,
say I
mate.
think
It
they're
happens.
missing Matt Smith. They're missing Liam
Yeah.
Shepherd. And the feeling among fans appears to be, and every fan will be different. As far as Dave Hughes is concerned, they got games against Accrington and Cheltenham, who got rid of Mike Flynn this week.
Yeah. We'll
in
try and get Flinny
October.
on the show. I'm sure he'd love to come on.
Yeah.
Would you like to have him on?
Yes, I would.
Yeah.
Always good value, Mike.
Yeah, I'll get him on. I'll give him a ring.
But then on X, Chris says to me, because I did the interviews with the new coaching team and Hugh Jenkins when he arrived, when they arrived.
What's he saying to you?
Well,
is he popping off on you?
Chris on X says, Rob, you need to speak to HJ, Hugh Jenkins, ASAP and find out what's going on. I saw your interviews in the summer and it hasn't been backed up. Serious questions need asking, and now. So,
I love the way.
I'll try and get Hugh Jenkins on. We will try and get Hugh Jenkins on.
Hugh Jenkins ain't coming on the show. Hugh's an introverted guy. Like, he's like Scarlet Pimpernel. There's no way you're getting on. If you do, try. I'd love to have him on because, like I've said to you, I think there has to be a reason why he's gone down the route he's gone down. And I think he backed it up by saying a statement last week. Which I said,
most talented squad.
Okay, like I said last week, okay, give me the team from 2 years ago and I'll play you and I guarantee you we'll smash you every time. You'll win out of 10, you'll win 2.
Yeah.
I'll win 8.
Okay.
All right, so I'd love to get Hugh on to find out what's going on in his head. And I also, like I keep saying, I think there might be a lot of it connected to the fact that they can't get a training facility. So they can't grow. And if you can't grow, you're stuck.
Although they do use the facilities at USW where we are.
Yeah, but it's a difference you're paying for that. If you've got your own, you're not.
Yeah.
You buy the land.
They might have more concerns than that once the WRU decide what's happening to the Dragons who...
but my point is, if an investor comes into a business and invests and then realises what he was thinking, right, that should just be straightforward and is being blocked or stopped from actually growing or going on to mature, then I'm sure if there was any businessman, they would limit their sort of funding into it.
Well, this is the Rob and Blakey Commentary Box podcast. We're loud and clear on Welsh football. We're recording it at the University of South Wales Atrium campus with the support of the journalism and media courses in Cardiff. Don't forget, you can find us on all the main social media platforms, X, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, YouTube, of course, or wherever else you get your podcasts. And you can catch up with the first 8 episodes, including episode 2 with Jess Fishlock, who's still getting plenty of views, and episode 6 with David Giles, because he wasn't here, and Sean Cousins. And if you want to get in touch, then certainly use X and Instagram. They're the platforms to do it.
Sorry, didn't you say Shan was coming back on to talk Welsh
She
football?
will come back on to talk
yeah.
Welsh football. She's very keen.
Gilo?
Gilo, whenever
Ah,
we want him.
I'd like to get them both on, both Charles.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure they'll get all three on the same settee, mine, but
That'd
there
be
we
little.
go.
Well, David can sit on
I
his
got my own
shoulder.
chair
They
across.
can sit on each shoulder. You're talking like you're
Okay.
about 6'8".
So we are talking about Welsh football because that's what we do. You text me on Saturday night about Harry Wilson's goal
What'd I
for
text you?
Fulham. You love Harry Wilson. In fact, that was your text. I love Harry Wilson.
I do. I got a soft spot for him. I always have. Left winger. Plays in the position I played, but could play in many different positions. Love that footballer. And I always say he's the babyface assassin. He's like, he looks so innocent, but he'll leave one on you as well. And yeah, listen.
It was a gorgeous finish, wasn't it, against Brentford?
Yeah.
Made it look so easy. Left
did.
footed finish coming in from the right.
He did. And I think that the ball through to him by Dreadlocks
It will be.
Awobi was special as well. But the way he came onto it, and I would say even at the Premier League level, you either miss it that too close to the keeper, or you try and be too precise and put it wide. All right, but it was nonchalant. That's what I loved about it. It was like, I'm pointing there, put it there, slot it. And it was such a controlled finish. And I put something a little bit out on social media about him. Yeah, I do social media, see, Rob?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I put something out.
Harry Wilson has
Yeah,
attracted Nathan Blake to social media.
Yeah.
Nico Williams, you should say, scored a really good goal for Nottingham.
Yeah, could we just wax lyrical a bit more about Harry? Cause,
go on then. Say what you want.
No. I'm just saying we moved on too quick because I put something out saying like the master finds things easy, but the novice doesn't, and it was.
You can't even remember what the phrase is.
No, I know what the phrase is, but it's.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be like a philosopher here.
Well, no, quite.
But, yeah. But I just think what if you're a kid and you're watching that, that's like, we're not here just to talk about Welsh football, it's to teach as well. But if you're a kid and you're watching that, just watch the level of control first. Like, first the understanding to know what I need, because he didn't break stride. Then can my teammate deliver what I need? It will be beautiful. And then, like I said, the controlled finish. It's easy to pay it a bit of attention and move on. That's what I'm saying. I want people to, if they listen to this, to go back and just watch it, because it's simple, but
we
it's
have learned.
difficult.
Yeah, we have learned.
Do you know what I mean?
As I said,
difficult.
Mentioned Nico Williams' goal.
Great
Carl
finish, by the way.
Great
Carl
finish.
playing really well.
Yeah.
Right? Needed as well. I think he's almost like becoming the number one.
I think he's certainly convincing Leeds fans.
Yeah, I think
he should
be.
I
think he is. Yeah,
which is great news for Wales
and he made some great saves as well.
Yeah,
great result for him on the weekend, and he played really, really well. He looked almost like, when keepers get into that confidence where you can't beat them, it's going to take something special, or it's like where someone heads it from 2 yards and you're near post, they've just headed it. It's not a lot you can do. But anything within sort of, I would say, like, if you've got like a 50-50 chance, he's edging his bets.
I do think he's got a real great aptitude for goalkeeping, because
and
he
got
came
great
into
experience,
Wales.
mind.
Yeah, he came into the Wales squad, and suddenly, as soon as he played for Wales, he looked assured at international level.
How long ago was he playing for Newcastle?
Oh, it's a few years ago now. Isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
So he's been there a long time.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of experience.
Yeah.
And the way he's playing at Leeds almost represents what he is, what he's done in the game. I think he was brilliant. great to see. Great feeling knowing he's Wales number one.
Yeah, quite. And on the other hand, Connor Roberts' lack of action so far, he's got a groin injury. That's what I'm reading. Was hoping he'd be back after the September, after the last international break. It's taken a few more weeks.
Groins always do, yeah.
It's getting touch and go now, isn't it, for the next World Cup
hopefully
games.
he doesn't have to have an operation on it. He can fully recover, but again, like, needed for the squad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, needed as a starter and bags of experience for someone so young.
Should we talk about our poll now? Before we get on to the Cymru Prem and the Adran leagues, our poll ended up 58% in favour of. I'm on about not our poll. That was the summer football thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, the return to the Principality Stadium, which we talked about.
I was going to say that was the
last
question,
night.
right?
Yeah. Tosh fan. I picked out a number of. Just get your
Tweets.
thoughts quickly on this.
Okay.
Tosh fan, who's a well-known Wales fan on X, says, parameters are important. If it's a couple of friendly fixtures, then I hope those who attend enjoy. If any competitive fixtures outside the 2028 tournament itself, which is what Noel Mooney suggested, why they would go back to Principality Stadium to sort of warm up for Euro 2028. If any competitive fixtures outside of a tournament itself, including Nations League, then I hope that the Red Wall pushes back and says #no return to millennium. Jeff McInnery says we'll lose any advantage we gained by playing at Cardiff City Stadium by moving to the cavernous and soulless rugby stadium for football. Support for Wales will be muted, but don't worry, you can stagger to the open bars to top up on overpriced ale whenever you want. Not a fan of Noel Mooney's plan. And there were one or two in favour. Nigel Harris says, as Euro games are to be played there, maybe. However, this is an abiding sort of feature of this. However, it is 100% not a football stadium. Attracts punters there for experience, stroke day out, rather than football or rugby fans.
Isn't it weird how a stadium, and because I completely agree, mind. You never felt it was a football stadium.
No. That is interesting, isn't it? That is interesting.
Do you know what I mean? Played there, scored there, but never felt it was a football stadium. And you think, well, a stadium is a stadium.
Would that come with wins there? Because we talked about it last week. They haven't got a great record there in recent games.
I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It's weird.
Well,
because there's a patch of grass on a stadium, right? So you think to yourself, like, how ridiculous does that sound? Well, it's not a football stadium.
But it felt like a football stadium when you were playing there and in front of 70,000 against Azerbaijan.
It didn't.
It didn't.
No. It never felt like a home to... And I can speak on, I think, fairly on behalf of quite a number of players. We never got that feeling of... It's ours. It's home. I never felt that there, playing there.
That's
You
interesting.
know what I mean? And like I've said, like I played there for Wolves against Sheffield United. Brilliant atmosphere. But maybe that was because it was two English teams coming in, and for me it was more familiarity because I had played there for Wales, but never gone there and felt this is a football stadium. Whereas I can say categorically, like going to Cardiff City, going to Swansea the other day, they're football stadia.
So I think we agree, don't we, that they need to go there in the build-up to the tournament.
They have to, yeah.
They're going to be playing there.
Yeah.
But long-term...
Listen, I think
maybe not.
The worst thing could happen is you're thinking to yourself, if you're the Welsh FA, we're going to double the money we're going to make. We'll get 70,000 fans, double the money, and then start losing.
Yeah.
Because you'll quickly be down to 20,000 in that stadium.
Yeah.
Because the 35,000 that pack in Cardiff City Stadium every home game, I would say out of them, there'd be a good 10, 15,000 who won't want to go to the Millennium.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm
Or
sure we're going to...
Principality. Why do I keep calling it
Principality
Llanelli?
Stadium, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure we're going to come back to that. Cymru Prem, they played on Tuesday
And
night.
can I have them get on?
They won. They beat
Flying,
Koski
innit?
2-1, so
Yeah.
they're still top.
Yeah,
Joint top with TNS, who are
Yeah,
top
we're
on.
pegging it back. I told you.
Gold. Oh, no, yeah,
That's
fine.
the thing. Like,
But actually, Nath, we've got to give tribute to a side who we talked about a bit last week because they hadn't got a point. Llanelli. Well, they built on their first point against Colwyn Bay with a brilliant 2-1 win over Britain Ferry.
I seen that.
Yeah. Do you know how it happened, though?
I didn't read into it. I just seen the result,
The
which I thought
benefit of
brilliant.
subs.
Okay.
They were playing Britain Ferry, who were ahead. Mitchell Bates got sent off. Llanelli put 2 subs on, or among their subs, with Daniel Williams and Rio Booth, who both scored late on to claim their first win of the season.
Super subs. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope they can continue and be competitive in the league. Because I know, like, I spoke to a few people and they were saying, like, oh, they're done and dusted already, Llanelli. And I was like, well, it's a bit early for that. And then they said, oh, yeah, but you always go TNS. And I'm like, well,
Well,
yeah,
you do.
yeah. But, they've won it 9 times in a row, haven't they?
Yeah.
So,
No,
I've got good
not
reason.
quite that, but
You understand what I'm saying?
They won a lot,
Yeah. Well, they've won it last 6 or 7, I think.
But Llanelli makes it, you don't
Well, you want it to be
side.
competitive,
Yeah,
don't
do,
you?
yeah.
You want it, you want to make the league as competitive as possible. If you're the winners, you're happy being the winners. You might say you want more competitiveness until, your mate would say that until,
Who's my mate? I've
and
got
then-
many
until,
mates, as
until
you know.
Llanelli and Barry and what have you are going into Europe.
Are you
every
talking
year,
about Mike Harris,
and then he's
the
not
owner of
making
TNS?
the money, and then they slip down, right? So yeah,
He's my mate.
but you
is he?
want more competitiveness in the league.
He likes winding you up, though.
He doesn't wind me up at all. I don't know why
I can tell.
Well, I'm not wound up, am I?
No, okay.
I'm just making the point. You want a competitive league.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
And he would say that as well.
And like, unlike you, I challenge him. He don't wind me up. I just challenge him.
Okay.
You didn't, just to get him on your show.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah.
But, of course, if people had their way, they wouldn't even be playing now because in our poll,
Oh, okay. Now I don't know the answer
our
to this.
Rob
so
and
please.
Blakey commentary box special poll,
Yeah.
summer football for just over 58% against just under 42%.
So it's just like a Brexit poll, right? It's like pretty close. But
It is close.
yeah, but if you go with a majority, then
Are you surprised by that?
I am, yeah. But at the same time, I understand it because I go and watch Abergavenny sometimes on a Friday night when there's no other football on, and it's nice, especially in the warmer months towards the end of the season and start of the season. And Friday night football, I think to myself as well, it's difficult now because there's so many games televised, League 2, League 1, Championship, Premier League, Champions League, Women's Super League, cups, da-da-da-da-da-da. So there's so much football on TV at the moment. So I think the move would probably suit you. It's like when Rugby League went into a summer sport.
I think rugby league is the way forward, as in hybrid version of start in February and then go through which I mentioned last week.
I wouldn't. Listen, I wouldn't be against it. I'd be for it because it'd give us the opportunity to go and watch games.
Yeah,
like when the bigger teams are not
might have
playing.
to do the pod right the way through the summer.
Yeah. Well,
from the beach.
Well, at least during certain parts of the year, it'd be solely dedicated to them.
And as we talked about last week, without repeating it all, it's no other domestic league like the Cymru leagues that face their 4 biggest clubs being in another system. And when you look at Pen y Bont, for instance, they are between Cardiff on their doorstep and Swansea just 20 miles the other way.
Look at Rangers and Celtic in the Scottish
Yeah.
League. And no disrespect to the Hibs and Motherwells and things like that. Great traditional clubs. But it doesn't get the attraction, does it? Of like the Premier League, the Championship, what have you. So looking at that as an example, and then going to the Welsh League, I know like we're comparing apples and pears, Celtic and Rangers, you know, teams like Pen and Bont and what have you. But I think, again, you're competing against them as a winter sport.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Right? So if you go to the summer, listen, you know, like I said, players wouldn't like it because it's not a great time to play.
But we're always fair. Mark Vickery on X says, doesn't favour summer football. My son plays cricket. It's nice to have a break from it.
Yeah, you kind of get like that when
yeah.
you get down to April, May, don't you?
Yeah.
But then the cricket season starts, and within 3 weeks you're like, when's this football coming back? Well, you're not because you love cricket, but
I do. Glamorgan have just been promoted, so congratulations to Glammy.
Yeah.
Playing their last game as we speak.
I'm not really a massive cricket fan, I'll be honest with you.
But we're pleased they got promoted back to Division 1.
Yeah.
Very quickly now, because we've got loads to get through still. Cardiff moved to the top of the Gennaro Adran Premier League on goal difference. They beat Barrytown 5-0 on Sunday. Wrexham's perfect start came to an end. They were beaten 4-2 by the New Saints at Park Hall. Swansea made it 2 wins from 2 games with a 2-0 win over Aberystwyth Town at Llanelli. That ended Aber's perfect start to the
competitive though, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what you want, right? It's like a competitive. All those teams you mentioned there, you could say, if I said you pick a winner for the league.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. Chloe Chivers scored one of the goals. Just to say, I think she was in my daughter's class in school.
Oh, was she?
Yeah, we followed her progress. So
okay.
Well done, Chloe.
Yeah.
I hope it is the same one now.
You
Sometimes you just say things, don't it? And Bryn Ferry earned their first points under new boss Rhys Thomas with a 4-0 win away to Pontypridd Town, Pontypridd United. So good, all right. Last Saturday.
Okay.
Got to tell you about this. So,
okay.
Last Saturday I went to Merthyr.
Oh yes, you
We've
did.
been promising to go.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my presence alongside Archie Tuth, my cameraman, coincided with their worst display of the season, and actually worst display
some mascot you,
for
Rob.
some time. They were beaten 5-0 by Ratcliffe. They're still 8th in the National League North, but we had a really warm welcome there. I met some of the old players. It was a players' reunion day. Spoke to fans.
Don't give me all that nonsense. There's one reason why you went there. Tell him.
Right. I will tell you.
Because he's building up. And I know how he thinks. He thinks with his stomach.
I had such a warm welcome. And while I was there, I did my first ever food review. Ladies and gentlemen, I felt it my duty to relate to you my first food test on the Merthyr cob.
Yeah, you're talking like it's like the best thing ever made. Like.
So, no trip to Penydarren Park, the home of the Martyrs, is complete without trying the Merthyr cob. I had to have a go myself, so here goes a mixture of a cut-out cob, 2 sausages, curry sauce, on top of chips. It looks a thing of beauty. It is a thing of beauty. You must try the Merthyr cob. So as you could tell, I was impressed.
Did you eat it all?
Archie had some of it as well.
You shared food?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
You?
Yeah. But, I was...
Is that on camera as well? Because I wouldn't believe you unless it's on camera, mate. There's no way you're sharing food.
It was brilliant. It was. And we actually met a fan there. And I'm doing more on Merthyr. There's going to be a full rundown of my day at Merthyr on social media a bit later in the week after this podcast is published. It's worth watching because there's some great people in it, not including me. But actually, we found a fan who had travelled to Merthyr to watch the game from Bristol, who went there partly because he'd heard about the Merthyr cob.
Are you playing
mosquitoes.
something now? Or are you asking me
No,
a
no,
question?
I'm asking.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like looking at me as if to say you were going to run some video like of
I'm
you
just,
with that
I'm just saying.
that big boat thing in your hand I just seen with all sorts of stuff sticking out of
Told you
there.
it's a thing of beauty, and it tasted it as well.
And so you really believe that the guy travelled from Bristol to eat the Merthyr cob?
I believe what he told me.
He told you that, yeah?
He did, yeah. So why should I think any different?
Just like it's a long way to go for a bit of food.
It is, but he wanted to see a game as well. But one of the things he'd heard about
it's famous,
was the Merthyr
cob is famous,
Yeah. Yeah.
So just explain to people what's in it.
Right. It's you tear the bread out of half a cob, pull the bread out. They do that for
a cob,
you.
like what is it? Like a crusty
Yes.
roll.
Yeah, round, crusty.
Because that's look like massive.
Oh no, it's a big cob.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
It's a big cob. It's not
Okay.
one of those little
crusty,
like a crusty ham cob.
Yeah,
No,
okay.
it's a big
Cob,
cob.
yeah.
You have half.
Yeah.
They pull the bread out. They put chips in there. They put sausages on top, and they cover it with curry. Or you could have gravy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just what you want. Even and it wasn't a cold day, but it was wet up in Merthyr.
Yeah.
It was just what you want. And certainly it helped get over the 5-0 defeat.
Would you eat it again?
Oh, yeah, of course I would.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're not a fussy man when it comes to food.
Well, I do
So
like
it's a
my
silly
food,
question,
and I
really.
do like the Merthyr cob.
Yeah.
And what I should tell you as well, it was a players' reunion, and the players were there from 1987 when Merthyr beat Atalanta in the European Cup Winners' Cup. So I interviewed Andy Beattie, Kevin Rogers, Kerry Williams. Rogers and Williams scored in the home leg.
Andy
They
Beats,
lost the away
great
leg.
guy.
Yeah. And Di Webley walked in as well. Prolific striker at that time. So it got me thinking, I think that's right up there with the best Welsh club wins in Europe. What do you think is the best Welsh club win in Europe?
Madrid,
Cardiff beating Real Madrid.
it's the biggest club in the world.
Yeah, in 1971, Brian Clark. They like Merthyr, they lost the second leg.
Yeah.
But we're talking one-off wins.
Yeah, a win's a win, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who Swansea beat? And they
well,
play Valencia.
They beat they won on the Mestalla.
Mm-hmm.
I was there for that.
Mm-hmm.
That was sensational.
Mm-hmm.
Newport had a draw against Cardiff Sheehan away, 2 goals from Tommy Tynan.
Tommy Tynan.
Yeah.
He was a striker when I was in school. His daughter was in my class, Tommy.
Barry Horn scored
Just ignore
the
that.
goal that took Wrexham through against Porto, who were beaten finalists the season before in the Cup Winners' Cup in 1984-5. Bangor beat Napoli. So let's put it all out there. What we want to know is what you consider to be the best win by a Welsh club in Europe.
It's got to be Madrid, isn't it?
That's what you think. I'm putting it out there. So we'll put
What
it
do you
on our
think?
socials.
If we put it out
I
there,
think Merthyr
what
is
do you
right
think?
up there, given where Atalanta was.
I didn't ask you what's right up there. You asked me which was the best, so I'm asking you the same question. Which is the best?
Well, I saw Cardiff Sheehan and I saw Atalanta. I saw Valencia.
I can give you.
And I think I was there for Real Madrid as well.
Cardiff Slin is who?
Sorry?
The first team you said?
Cardiff Sheehan was the team that Newport drew with.
Okay. Valencia.
Valencia was Swansea
Real
in the
Madrid.
Europa League. Real Madrid, Cardiff.
And then did you say Porto?
And Wrexham were 3-0 down in the away leg to Porto. Came back and went through on
Pens.
on away goals.
Okay.
Because Barry Horn scored in the last few minutes. So they went through 4-4 altogether. They were, as I said, they were beaten finalists the previous year. I think that's got to be right up there.
That's a draw,
As well.
though. They went through on.
No, they went through, yeah. But
Okay. So.
And they beaten Porto at home
Okay.
with a Jim Steele goal.
Okay, yeah. I would say that's an unbelievable. But I still think you're going up against the best. And I'm not saying it because Cardiff thing. I just think, Porto's a great result. Valencia's a great result. Real Madrid, I think.
And Bangor City beat Napoli in the 60s. They actually played 3 times. They won at home, 2-0. They lost away. They went to a playoff at Highbury.
Fair play. There's a choice there. Absolutely, a choice.
So there we are.
Who's yours then? You didn't give it to me.
I'd
You
probably say I got to say, Swansea's winning Valencia because I was there was something else.
Oh, because I was
But
there,
actually,
is it?
well,
It's not
I
about you,
was.
Rob. It's about the result.
Okay. As I say, I may be wrong on this, but I've always thought Merthyr against Atalanta was
Okay.
something spectacular.
Okay.
Again, I was there for that as well. But, you know, it's what you do, isn't it?
I'm just saying.
That's what I used to do. So that's my career.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I thought you said Bangor.
Well, that is phenomenal.
When was that game?
That was in 1962.
So you there?
No, I wasn't there for that. No, I was
You were
3
about
then.
40, weren't you?
I was 3 then. Right, on that note, it's out there for you. Join us on our socials, on X, Instagram, Threads. Tell us what you believe the best Welsh club result is in Europe. That's it for the Rob and Blakey Commentary Box podcast for this week. Do join us again next week. We'll be back for more fun and games with myself and Nathan Blake.